Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man, it's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales, dirty discussions with Kiki and Medinah Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called Sex and the City. The ingredients you need is some stuffed olives, some Tito's vodka, the olive juice that the olives come in, and some vermouth. So you are going to grab a martini glass and a cocktail shaker, put some ice in that cocktail shaker, and put 2 shots of Tito's, a splash of olive juice, and then a little splash of vermouth. Shake it up, strain it, drop the 2 stuffed olives in there. That is a Sex in the City, and that is a very grown woman drink. It's actually disgusting, but people like it. I tried it this weekend, and I was really trying to sip on the drink, Kiki, like it was good, and I just didn't like it. But it's a grown woman drink.
Yeah, martinis.
They're strong and salty.
I can't. I don't mind a salty drink. I don't like olives. I definitely don't like olive juice. It's just...
Oh, you don't even like olives like in a salad?
They have a weird aftertaste to me. Green olives, black olives, all of them. I hate fucking olives. Ooh. Anyway, welcome back to Cocktails Dirty Discussions, you guys.
Hey, y'all.
So, how have you been? What's been going on?
I went to New York this weekend. It was a very last minute trip. And it was so much fun. I had a great time. Went on Mandy's podcast, See the Thing Is, with her and Bridget Kelly. And it was just such a fun time. I went to a sex club.
Oh. Did you have sex at the sex club? Or were you just a voyeur?
Things happened at that sex club. Including
you have a cocktail. Oh.
It was, I have, you know how you have been to the sex club, I've been to the sex club, but I've never really had, and I think you too, I've never had like a grand experience at the sex club. It's always been kind of like,
I went like twice. I didn't enjoy it. And I was like, this can't be it. I
wholeheartedly enjoyed myself. Like, I fell in love with a girl who had a boyfriend, and
was the boyfriend there?
He was there.
Okay.
And it's a little hazy.
Was he cute?
He wasn't ugly, but he had braids. And I don't like when men have like cornrows.
Okay.
I really can't remember what he looked like, but the girl was gorgeous. And she had these beautiful curly locks that smelled like fruit. Like fruity shampoo. It was just...
you mesmerized. You're smiling. Before we got on, we were both talking about how tired we are. So if we end up looking tired, I tried to like open my eyes. They won't open any wider. They're red. I'm tired as fuck.
I tried to put on makeup, but I just couldn't. You know, when you're booking your flights and you decide, I can come back and then just jump right into work. It always seems like such a good idea when you're booking the flight, and then the day comes and you're like, why did I do this? I'm exhausted,
Pretty much.
But my weekend was really good. Make sure y'all check out this week's episode of See the Thing Is. It'll be Thursday when y'all hear this, but it came out Monday. So check it out. We had some good topics, good discussions. How was your weekend?
It was great. My friends Soraya and Nick are having a baby. They're having a little girl. Her name is Phoenix. I love that name. That's my niece's name too. So she had a baby shower in Houston.
Y'all was lit.
Yeah, we were. And the baby shower was a lot of fun. I got to see some friends who I haven't seen in quite some time. Made some new friends this weekend too, which is always fun. I went out. I've been telling everybody how fine the men are in Houston. I'm going to stop telling y'all that because now y'all going to be over there infiltrating the city I've been telling y'all about for years. Everybody was like, oh, where should I go? Where should I go? I don't know, sis, because Houston is full. It's only enough room for me and everybody else who's already there. Find your own city and tell me about your great experience, because
we get like weekly DMs like, can y'all tell me what's a good spot in Houston? Y'all, Kiki be going to Houston and going out. I go to Houston and have sex with one person. We don't really be going out.
And you know what?
All day.
So I went to a day party at this place called Chapman and Kirby, which is really popular. I've only been there one other time, and I guess it was the last time I was in Houston, or maybe time before last. I don't know. They all blur together. There were so many fine niggas in there.
What's it called?
Chapman and Kirby. It's so much fun. So I went, I had brunch with my dad and my sister. And then my sister was going to another club. I went to Chapman and Kirby and met some friends there. Then some more people came. I didn't even know that they had like an outdoor section. So I find my friend, she's outside. So I go meet her outside. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know this was over here. I saw one of my old coworkers from my job here in Atlanta. He was there. It was his birthday weekend. So I was like, oh, let me buy you a shot. He was like, don't worry about it. Casamigos Reposado is $12 there. Atlanta would never. $12? I was buying everybody shot.
More or less in Atlanta?
It's way more because Reposado isn't the Blanco one. So that's going to be a little bit pricier. Mm-hmm. You know, if you get a drink, a shot, whatever. So, of course, I left my debit card. I hate when you can
open a tab and they keep the card and then you get drunk.
Please give it back. Like, yeah, so I'm outside. My friend is taking me back to my hotel. And I was like, I left my debit card. I just got this debit card because my wallet was stolen when I was in Miami. So I had to get all new cards, new ID, everything. So she goes back in and gets it. We were supposed to go to another place called 5015. I still have not been. I heard it's a great time. I ain't make it, y'all. I woke up at like 4 a.m. All my clothes were off. I had one AirPod. The other one was in her car, so she had to bring it to me the next day. And it was so great. I ran into Voodoo Dick at Chapman and Kirby.
No.
Yeah, I did. And so I saw him and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Because my friend who I was meeting, she was like, you seen your friend? I said, yeah, I saw him the other day. She was like, no, he's here. I said, excuse me, what? So then I had to go, you know, give him a little flirt on. And then everybody was just fine. I was flirting with everybody, giving my number out.
To go. I'm going to Houston next week. I might need to.
You should go on Sunday. If you're going to be there on Sunday for Sunday Fun Day, go. The weather was nice. It was so packed. And he's been there before. And he was like, yeah, usually it's not this packed, but I think it's the weather. Everybody just wants to be outside. There were like 3 cops. I don't usually fuck with cops, but they were cute. One of them wasn't so cute, but fuck it, I don't care. At this point, everybody's getting my number. And I'm not waiting for you to ask. I said, now I'm a little drunk. Well, this is the perfect time for me to practice shooting my shot. I never really do it. We said it a million times. But I was like, let me channel my friend Drea Nicole, get my confidence on like 2,000, and just do it. So I told these cops, I was like, y'all are all so handsome. I'm just going to give all of y'all my number and may the best man win. And I did. I don't know what was wrong with me. I scheduled several dates.
Did any of them hit you up?
Yes, they all hit me up. I've got rain checks. I was like, well, I don't live here, but I come here often. And if you give me a reason, I can come back quicker and sooner rather than later. So anyway, there were just so many cute guys. I mean, even when I was walking out, and I never do this, I'm flirting with the damn bouncer. But he was cute. Everybody was just fine. Just good. The people working there.
To a place like that. Everybody's just fine.
It's just like the men in Houston specifically, but Texas pretty much, they're nice, tall, strong men. They look like they eat food. Everybody's not a fucking health nut. It's not like they're eating super unhealthy, but they gonna eat a meal. Everybody's not eating the fake ass protein shakes and berries all day. Those niggas get some meat.
So they're a little husky. They're a little thick.
That's what you're saying? Yeah, but like muscly too, because they be working out and they're just looking good. They got their hair cut, smiles. They're tall. They smell good. They smile. They have manners. Like niggas opening doors. Let me just get your tab. Don't worry about your tab. I got it. Stuff like that. Just wonderful, wonderful experience everywhere I went. But Chapman and Kirby was definitely one of the highlights as far as spots goes. And then I found a few new restaurants that I hadn't tried before. I had a great time, and I'll be back very, very, very soon. I ran into some listeners too at Chapman and Kirby. And
you
so
did?
I took a picture took pictures with a few of the girls, and Voodoo was like, why are these people asking to take pictures with you? And I was like, nigga, I'm lit. Don't you know? I think he doesn't realize. Anyway, it was just a great time. What else did I want to say about Houston? Oh, and then it's such a small world. So when I was at the baby shower and I was posting pictures about the baby shower, so many of my other Houston friends from a different friend group, they were like, oh, you know Nick, you know Soraya? And I'm like, how does everybody know each other? I just love it when so many people already know each other. And then my friends are telling me everybody was hitting them up. It was a beautiful weekend in Houston. I loved it. My feet still hurt. And that's why I'm sleepy. I had my allergy medicine ready, my eye drops, the nose spray, the Flonase, and the pills, because y'all know allergy season is heating up. So if you are about to go, even though I just asked you nicely not to go because it's full. Oh, they going. Please stock up on your allergy medicine. Even if you think you don't have allergies, just bring some just in case. A little Sudafed, something. But yeah, it was a great time.
I'm glad that we both had good, solid, fun weekends. Some of us had threesomes. Some of us got dick. Like it was.
Some of us had threesomes.
Isn't it crazy how I manifested that? Remember, we were just talking about it before. I was like, I haven't had a threesome in so long. I really want to have one. I also plan on having another one when I go to Houston with Houston Bay, Lieutenant Bay. We're gonna hire a sex worker and go ahead and knock this thing out the professional way. We've been sending each other porn clips, like what we're gonna do
with the Did you already find the girl?
We didn't find her yet. We narrowed it down to 3.
How did y'all find them?
He knew of some company
he knew
site thing. Yeah. And he the popo. So I was like, I trust him. I was like, baby, can we frisk her down when she get there? Because he was like, no, we'll be good. But look at us out here making cocktails and living life. Hair growing and flowing.
Okay. Just skin clearing up. It's just great. Clearing up. I only got my lashes done. They won't be falling off today.
Before we get into any discussion, I want to make sure that we remind the listeners about these Vesper necklaces. I wore one the whole time in New York, and it was really handy at the sex club. And I forgot I had it on. Y'all, order you a Vesper from Crave and use code CockTales to get free engraving. Mine says good vibes only on it, and it's such a great conversation piece.
It really is. Mine says you're worth it. You know, it's so funny. So I was going through TSA on my way back. I forgot I had the necklace on. And so, of course, it buzzes me or whatever. So the lady's like, oh, it's your necklace. She was like, I keep seeing these. And she's all touching and stuff. Of course, she has on gloves because she's a TSA person. And she's like, what is it? Can you put stuff in it? And I had to make sure to tell her no, because I was watching I May Destroy You, I think is the name of the show. And they were putting Coke in necklaces that look very similar to that. So you put Coke in this little vial, and then it has a little scooper thing. And so when you twist off the top is the scooper to put it up your nose or whatever. So I didn't want her to think I had drugs and stuff, because I had 15 minutes before the gate was about to close, and I had to bus it through the airport. I was running, and I hate seeing people run in the airport, because I'm like, you should have got here on time. My ass was running. That traffic wasn't no joke. But yeah, she was like, what is it? I didn't want to tell her. I said, go to this website, lovecrave.com. It's called a Vesper. I don't want to freak you out about what it does, but it does something. So just go look at it and use this code. So hopefully she buys one and has a good time. But I was like, she's been touching it. She's probably going to be like, bitch, why didn't you stop me from touching it?
Why didn't
you had on gloves. And honestly, it's a great conversation starter, but I haven't actually used it as a vibrator in so long, but I just love the way it looks. It's such a cute piece of jewelry.
I love the way it looks, but bitch, I be using mine. And I love how slim it is and pointy, so you can put that tip on your clit, or you can try out your booty hole. Like it slides,
or you can put it on
easily
his gooch.
On his gooch or hers.
More of that later. Yeah, so make sure y'all get that. And
also, you guys, make sure, I have a bunch of new stories that are about to be released on Dipsea, the Dipsea app. So we'll put the link in the bio. Make sure you guys check it out. It helps me out a lot when you guys use the exact link, because it gives you the discount code for a free month to listen to my stories. I'm a character named Seven this month. And what they're doing with the stories is super dope. They make it to where like me and my girlfriend, Liz, are having a threesome with the listener. So when you download the app, we're talking to the listener like, oh, take your panties off. Let me kiss you here. Like, I was turned on recording it.
Yeah.
Super cute. So make sure y'all check me out. Use the link because it helps me out. And yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, and then also, it's heating up. Summer, fuck summer. Spring is here, baby. We going out. And people getting vaccinated. I was like, I'm vaxxed and waxed, baby. I'm outside. So get your she orgasms. Go ahead and stock up, because every year in the spring and summer, that's when, you know, everybody's buying multiple packs. Get the tincture. If you're not a pill taker, the tincture works quicker. I personally think it's a little stronger. And if you're really trying to do some things, you're going to do the pills first before you take your shower and get ready and get all freshened up for whoever you're about to see. And then you're going to take the tincture when you're on the way, or they say they're on the way. So it's going to be good and gushy by the time they get there. So use my code Kiki said so.
I just got the tincture, and
you did?
I haven't used it yet. So
oh yeah, add that to your threesome bag for the weekend. Yes, and everybody can take some. You can just drop it, and you put it under your tongue. Let it sit under there for like 10-15 seconds. It's strong because it's rum and honey in there, and it's got like a spicy kind of taste. Doesn't
Should
taste
you
really
keep
bad.
it in the refrigerator after you open it, or no?
You have to put it in the refrigerator.
Okay.
But you gonna want some mouthwash after.
These are cute gift ideas. Maybe you don't want to give it to yourself, but I went to a birthday dinner on Friday night, and I last minute gift. We have a lot of sex toys, you know, just from sponsors and stuff. So I made a cute little gift bag for one of my girlfriends for her birthday. Gave her a vibrator. I had some taste vitamins. I had some She Orgasm products. Put them in there. Put a little tissue paper. It was the perfect gift. She opened the gift, and everybody was like, "You really got her sex products?" Yes, ma'am. I did. Yes.
Why not? Everybody needs to feel good. Everybody.
All the time.
Yes. Yeah. So those are some great gift ideas. And then remember, we drop bonus episodes every single Monday. Patreon.com/CockTales. We have several different tiers. If you sign up for the $15 Ride or Die tier, you get a gift after you have had 3 consecutive months of being a patron, and there's great content on there. We've got some more on the way. So go ahead and sign up. And here's a little clip from the most recent bonus episode.
When I give head, I normally give up in the middle. You got about 3 minutes maybe with me. And after that, like, even if you were about to come, I'm done. My jaws have hit the limit. I used to be a princess in my past life. So, like, I gave him the best head that I think I have ever given any man in his whole entire life. This nigga was about to cry. And it was almost like the mother gods in my body that were also like brewing up this roux of a period where like, we fuck with you, Medinah. You know, you don't deserve to be dickless. We're going to give you all the power that your jaws need to keep going, to keep pushing through in this hard time.
And then I wanted to tell y'all one last thing. Usually I don't really talk about people's GoFundMes and stuff, but my sister's best friend has this condition called vasculitis. I had never heard of it. She was in the hospital for like a month or two. I don't remember, but she's out now, but she can't go to work. So and they're not giving her anything. She has kids and stuff. So I'm concerned for her health, but I'm also concerned with how is she going to be able to sustain. So she has a GoFundMe. I'm going to put the link in the description box. All the stuff that we've talked about, I'm always going to have the links in the description box. So just go there and you can click the link if you feel it in your heart to donate something. Anything will help because she's going to need help. She's a single parent, 2 daughters, and it's a chronic disease. It does something to your arteries and then it affects other organs. So I think with her, it's affecting her kidneys, and it's just, it sucks to see because there's no cure for it. They can just give her treatment and hopefully it works. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does, but it's a chronic disease. So if you've never heard of it, look it up. If you want to give her something, we'd really appreciate it. And again, the link is in the description box. Yeah. That sucks because it's like, it's not like you do anything to get it. It just happens. And it just makes you think about your life.
Yeah, especially when you're around the same age. Like,
yeah, she's like my age. She's young.
Like that's, she's in my prayers.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so before we get into our discussion, we can go ahead and go to weird sex. I have a short story this week.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound
mean and bitter? Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
So, this lady, she's 44. She lives in New Zealand. Her and her little boo was sucking on necks. Getting real deep, sucking on the necks. Hickeys everywhere. I don't like hickeys. And if y'all still out there giving and getting hickeys, be careful, because let me tell y'all what happened to her. 2 days later, after she got this huge hickey, she started to lose the feeling in her arm. So she goes to the hospital, not even realizing it's because of the hickey, but it was. So she goes to the hospital. They discover the hickey on her neck. It was right over a major artery. And the force from all of that, it created a blood clot. And she had a minor stroke.
Were they sucking?
Girl,
Jesus.
They was sucking for dear life. They thought it was True Blood or something. I don't know. But she had a minor stroke. 44, having a stroke. What the fuck? So anyway, she recovered. Thank God. They treated her with some anticoagulants in the blood. And she was all right. But y'all got to be careful. What the fuck is careful? Y'all got to be careful out here with these hickeys, because this ain't the first hickey accident I've told y'all about when people are having strokes and stuff. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's insane. That really makes me look at it. I like sucking on necks, but don't leave a mark. But if you do leave a mark, I do kind of like to look at it later. But this makes me think, wow.
Girl, what do you look at it? Does it help you reminisce?
Like a sex memory. You know when you have a sex memory of someone, you can actually feel them in you all of a sudden. Like a hickey just helps make that more advanced.
I ain't had a hickey in so long, and I don't need none. Leave me alone. I already bruise easily. Just a little light suck. Nothing more. But that's weird sex. If you guys see a crazy weird sex story, DM it to me or email me at info@kikisaidso.com.
This week, you guys, we are talking about marriage. We're at that age where some may be thinking about it. Some might already be hard-nosed on it. And I've had the marriage discussion with a few different groups of friends and family members. And it's interesting. A lot of the people that I know that are married don't seem to be happy, but they seem like they're working on it. I do know a few married people that seem happy, but Kiki and I had this discussion last week over breakfast, and we were like, what is the point? What's the point in marriage in today's world in 2021? Why are we getting married?
I mean,
is it for love anymore, or is it all for business?
I think people do still definitely get married for love. I think sometimes people get married because they're having a baby. They don't want to be ashamed.
Always
a lot of people are old-fashioned that way, but marriage has changed so much over the years. And in the past, when we have had guests come on, it's always so crazy to me, because it seems like a huge part for unmarried people who are anti-marriage. They're like, oh, it's just a piece of paper. Yes, bitch. And you're going to need that paper, because you never know what is going to happen. I personally am pro-marriage. If I don't get married, it's not the end of the world. But I don't see myself being in a long-term relationship for years and years, and we're not getting married. We
have nothing to show for it. And I mentioned that to a girlfriend of mine, and she was like, so do people just get married to be able to show it off to people? And no, but
it's not even about other people. It's about me and him.
Exactly. And showing the bond. I do like weddings. I do like that we want to share our love with everyone and show y'all the love that we've created and all that stuff. But also, if you have kids by someone, if you've been living together for years on end and the person tragically dies, not even from a sickness, but a car accident, and you weren't planning on paying for things by yourself, or now you got to figure out how to take care of your kids, you do need that piece of paper. That piece of paper comes in handy to help support your life.
Imagine if you were in this long-term relationship, right? And maybe somebody gets in an accident. Whoever gets in that car accident and is in the hospital on life support, they are going to contact your spouse. If you don't have a spouse, it's going to be the next of kin. What if you don't fuck with the rest of your family, but that's still your next of kin? And they could be like, you know what? We're not going to keep her on life support. This is getting too expensive. Pull the plug. When you know, and your spouse knows what you really wanted. It's little things like that. Everything is all good when things are good before you're married. But when real life happens, when things like that happen, you need some sort of security. Even like if you're old, it's not always when you're young. Sometimes when you're old, like you don't want to get put out of a house. What if you die? The man die, he ain't got a will. What the fuck? It could be lots of different things. What if he has a kid and you've been raising that kid like it's yours, and then the kid ends up going somewhere else? Like, so many things can happen. And I remember we had a guest on, I want to say it was Sue Solo, and she was saying she didn't really believe in marriage. She didn't feel like it was necessary and all of that stuff. And so I brought up some of these real situations that happen, and she was like, well, and I talked about property and assets and what happens if you've built this life together and you're thinking you're good because y'all both were on the same page at one point, and then you're not. So she's like, oh, well, we could just draw up some paperwork and have a contract. Yeah, bitch, the contract is marriage. That is what's in there. I don't think it's all about business, but your business and your affairs, but that is a major part of it. And I honestly want, if I'm going to be with somebody and we're going to be together for a long time, I want you to take some responsibility. And in taking responsibility, that is making things official. I'm not about to be 50 talking about this my boyfriend.
This is
my partner.
We're dating. Yeah, we're dating.
Yeah. And we've been together since I was 33. No, I'm not. I'm not. If y'all want to do that, that's your business. I could not do that. I will not do that. And if I'm with somebody and they're not on the same page, well, we're not meant to be together because we're not on the same page. Like I said last week.
Oh, I couldn't imagine dating someone for so long. Well, first of all, that's why also you need to have the conversation. And then they don't want to marry you. You've given most of your life to them. I do still believe in love. Like one thing listening to Kevin Samuels and when he brings women on to talk to them about stuff, I hate how people can make you feel intimidated about what you want. Like when it comes to marriage, everybody wants to get married for different reasons. And your reason is okay. If you want to marry only for financial security, that's what you want to marry for. Make sure you're dating right so you can get it right. If you want to marry for love, if you want to marry for a companion, it's your reason. Be solid in that. And it's okay. Like I hate when I hear people not really be able to articulate it because they're intimidated by people making marriage like a negative thing nowadays. And
yeah, I do think a lot of people make it seem like it's a negative thing or like you're doing too much because you want marriage. Like you don't have to
or
do
because
that.
you want to wear a ring, you just want to show off.
I want to do these things. What's wrong with that? You want to be shacked up, and that's fine for you. It's not going to be fine over here.
Something that's really important to me about marriage that I love, and I see this in my mom and my dad, is there are a lot of things that my dad and my mom, really my dad, wouldn't have made it through if they didn't have the other person. I love that sense of security in your companion. Like if you get sick, somebody is there to help you. You don't have to be scurrying around like, who's going to take care of me? Who's going to do it? You have your person. If they're alive and healthy as well, if everything's going how it should be going in a perfect world. I love that you could get old with somebody that knew you when you were 32 and now y'all are 80 and you have this beautiful family that you've developed together. That is a beautiful thing that I hope and pray I get to experience in my life. I hope I don't keep meeting these niggas that are like, yeah, no, I'm not getting married. Nigga, you're 50. Like, you need to. You're going to be sick very 50, soon.
They're probably not going to. I had a conversation with my dad about that. He was talking about
he
how
wants to be married?
Yeah, my dad is in his 50s. And I'm just like, Daddy, you waited so long. Like, I'm sure you know plenty of women. He has an active dating life. But I'm like, why is it now that you're just now realizing it? Did you think that you are always just going to be so young and you'd be out all the time? I mean, of course, COVID and stuff, that has slowed him down a bit, but he also has gotten sick. And it's like, you have lots of things. Did you just take it for granted? I think so. And that's what he said. And he was like, yeah, I think I did. And I just, I would forget how old I really was because I'm still living life and everything's great. And now I do want that person. I do want somebody there. It does get lonely. And I've missed out on that. And I want it. And so I was like, yeah, well, good luck.
When he dates, does he tell people that he's sick or does he kind of feel like he sounds like a liability?
Or they don't be caring?
He probably doesn't, because he barely told. It was years before he told me. He was telling me that it was another condition, which he really does have some other condition. But when he told me what it really was, I'm like, Daddy, why would you not mention that? And it's like, I don't want to say everything that he has to go through, but he has to. There's lots of changes that are going on for him, and I don't know. I think anyone he's seriously dating, he would tell them based off of a few conversations that we had, but it don't seem like he really liked them. So I don't know why. I don't understand the method to his madness. I really don't. But yeah,
out here living his best life and watch him get married. Why? Because men always get what they want.
I hope so. He's gonna be a 60-year-old groom.
You have a fly step
for the first time. I hope so. I'll be like, let me see these girls you talk to. Let me see some pictures. Oh, let me show you. And then, the older women, it's so funny to me when they have these pictures that they put on Facebook and they then put the little graphics on there with like the little flowers that look like they came from MySpace that'll say like, Happy Sunday. I'm like, why are y'all doing this to your pictures?
What are we gonna be
so
like when
funny.
We're old?
No.
Will we still be posting pictures on Instagram?
Or whatever. So I'm gonna post pictures, but my picture's gonna be looking good. They're not gonna be looking dated. Okay, I'm gonna keep up with the times. My nieces will help me out.
Well, throughout the week and the weekend, I knew we were gonna be talking about this, and I talked to a couple different married couples and people that have been married and were divorced, and just wanted to get like their takes on marriage. And some of the women that I spoke to talked about how sometimes there is it's overwhelming being a wife. Because
how so?
In most households, and tell me if you agree with this, the women are the backbones. Like the man might be the breadwinner and the man of the house, but the women are like that vessel, the main vessel in a household that keep things going. Everyone goes to the mom for everything, or even husbands. If you don't have kids, you go to the wife. Did you get my paperwork? Is the doctor's appointment? Is everything set? Like women keep things organized and together. And a lot of wives that I spoke to, they were like, I wasn't sure if I had the tools to actually be a good wife. Beyonce has even said that in songs, like being a wife is so difficult and challenging because there are things you have to give up and things you have to change for it to be successful. That is something that scares me. I've told my mom this before. I said, I don't know if I'm strong enough to be a wife. Like,
what part of it is scaring you?
The part that scares me is that you organize everything. Everyone goes to the woman for everything. And sometimes I am selfish in that aspect. And I don't know it. Like, I'll be like, do it yourself. Like, why can't you do it? But wives just be doing this shit. You cooking the dinner for everybody. Your man. You also, if you have a baby, then he's wondering when you going to start having sex. That was another thing that I've talked about with women when babies come in the picture, and then the expectations that men have on you, and you gained weight, or you don't want to sleep with nobody right now. You still breastfeeding, but your man wants to. I was just like, I think I would be like, wow, we might need to get a divorce, but you also can't throw in the towel like that. Like, I don't know if I have the tools to be a wife. And it scares me.
I don't mind the organizing stuff and having things together. I think in my marriage, it would probably be best if I did that.
You're a Virgo.
So,
you're great at it.
So I'm fine with that part. The part that scares me sometimes, and I was having a conversation with a guy friend of mine, and I was like, I want to get married, but I don't know because I am so independent. And I have a hard time, like, letting people help me, letting other people do stuff. And so sometimes I think that pushes people away. And it's just hard. Like, I make an effort to do it. And sometimes I don't even realize when I'm doing it. So being married, it's a lot of compromises that's going to be going on. I don't know. So I was... at this place, BB's on Sunday. I was everywhere Sunday. I was at BB's Sunday, and I was talking to my friends, Aaron and CJ. And so I was talking about dating. And so they were giving me all these hypothetical situations. And they were like, let's talk about your Instagram. I said, okay, let's talk about it. He was like, okay, so if you...
Are they married?
Aaron is married. Aaron's married to Sandra. One of my best friends. Yeah. And then CJ is not married. I don't even know his relationship status right now. I should have asked him, but whatever. So CJ was like, okay, so what if you meet a guy, and I've been seeing your pictures lately, you like to post the swimsuits and lingerie and stuff. What if he's like, you got to stop that? I said, that's something y'all really do be saying too. Ooh. I said, well, so what's he going to stop doing? And he was like, why does it have to be that? I said, honestly, because I feel like if you're taking away something that I'm doing, I'm going to need you to be giving up something too, right? Yeah. And that's the compromise, because really it's not truly a compromise. You're just telling me to stop doing something. Where is the compromise in that? Like, okay. And I was like, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I don't really care. I've been posting these pictures because I want some lingerie endorsements. I want some swimwear endorsements. I want things like that. It's not even to attract men. That will happen, but that's not what it's about. So, okay, I get it. If I ain't got no deals yet, now if I got some deals and this is a job thing, now baby, you're gonna have to chill out.
And you're gonna have to chill out and you understand.
But if I ain't got there by the time I end up in a serious relationship, that will have been some time. Okay, I can give that up. But I was like, y'all are going to be asking for a lot of changes. And then even when I watched that show I love, Married at First Sight, they're going through the budget, talking about how much money to spend on stuff. It's not just my money no more. It's his money that's my money. And I'm contributing too if I'm making money, like that's for the household, you know?
And you have to think about where you're putting your money at.
Yeah. Like, and then it's like, if he has a problem with how we're spending money in this household, that's going to be something we got to compromise on. And I'm probably not going to like it. I like to spend money on me.
So do I.
So I just hope that whoever I end up with, when we do have to get to these situations where we're compromising, making changes, I just don't want it to all be on me. And a lot of times it seems like that's how it goes. The women are the ones who are making all of these changes, and the men is just like, don't be out here embarrassing me. Don't be a hoe. Make this money, pay the bills on time, come home.
And quite frankly, I feel like when men have to compromise certain things, they do it and pout. And women will do it and it's like, okay, we have to do it. We have to change. Maybe we'll have a conversation about it, but it's going to get done. Men, you can't even get men to stop playing video games. The amount of married people that I talk to, wives that were like, if this nigga does not stop playing these fucking video games, you mad about video? A lot of couples is arguing about these goddamn video games.
I don't know anybody that's a gamer.
Girl, my sister took her husband's PS4 or PS5 and hid it. He was running around searching for it. And she made it seem like it just like, you know, they lost it in when they were moving. And I was like, Mecca. I was like, visiting them. He's like slamming stuff around. Like, where are the controls? She didn't hide the whole thing.
Those things are expensive too.
And she was like, and I know exactly where it's at and I'm not showing it to him. I was like, damn. She's like, no, we have a baby now and he wants to play video games. No, I'm not doing everything. I got to breastfeed. I got to put the baby to sleep. Nope, you're not playing the video games.
And that's another thing. So your sister works. Has she gone back to work?
She's gone back to work.
So a lot of times, this is another thing I've noticed. You tell me if you noticed it too. Outside of even social media, in real fucking life, guys want to ask you if you can do all of these domesticated things. But then when you might mention, okay, well, if we're going to be married or we're in this serious relationship, we're living together, I don't want to work. I can do all of that, but I don't want to work. Then it's like, what the fuck? But it's like, well, bitch, we're both working.
Yeah, so
you can't fold clothes sometimes.
Chores.
Yeah, like
yeah. You can cook sometimes.
Matter of fact, we're gonna get on handy, and we're just gonna schedule somebody else to come. I'm not doing that, and that's another thing. We're gonna have to work that in the budget because I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it now. So I can do little things here and there, but it's like, okay, if I'm working, I'm contributing. I'm looking good. I'm being nice to you. I'm having sex. I'm cooking. I'm not gonna hire nobody to cook. The things. On top of working, and you just work and come and enjoy me and my hospitality as your wife. Like, that's not really fair. I know, like, when I was younger, my mom, she worked for a while, and then my stepdad was like, you don't have to work anymore. So she did. That's when she was trying to figure out how to cook and stuff. It got better. It still wasn't great. But even then, like, he would still cook sometimes too. And so it was good to see, like, he did outside stuff. She did inside stuff. When the cars needed oil changes, brakes, he could do all of that. He's mowing the yard or paying somebody to mow the yard, fixing things, going to Home Depot and doing that. And then she can, you know, be in charge of the kids, food, And then I took that over and things like that. We'll have to split some things up. And so I just hope that if I end up getting married, that, you know, when we have these conversations, my husband is open to it and really going to do it. Like, don't just say you're going to do it and then you let me just do it because it has to get done. I don't want that either. Things like that make me nervous because even when you're just dating somebody and you talk about these different things that y'all are doing together, and then when you start feeling like a lot of the couple stuff is falling on you, that shit ain't cool.
It's not cool. And it needs to be fair up in this.
And I'm tired. And it's like years ago when that was like so traditional for women to be cooking, cleaning, and raising babies and being barefoot and pregnant all the time. They weren't working. They forget that part. That was your job, to be home. And a lot of people had help too. Facts. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work being a woman, just so you men know. Let's divvy up these chores equally. Another married person speaking of compromise, another married person I had a conversation with said that a little part of you dies when you get married.
What did they mean? It dies.
Talking to married people is very entertaining. It's like, and then like the difference between men and women.
I ain't heard that one. Was this a man or a woman who said it?
This was actually a woman.
Okay.
She was like, you know, there are certain things that you might not want to change or compromise, but it is a necessity. Like, so let's say
what?
An example might be maybe one person goes out a lot. Let's say you go out to the club, you're brunching all the time, and now you got married and you're going out and still doing those things. And that is not the best behavior as someone's wife or someone's husband, especially if you're not doing it together. And so she was like, you know, I just think that sometimes when you have to cut certain things out of your lives, your partner might resent you because you don't, you know, you're like, no, you can't. You used to go out all the time when we were dating and we would do all this, but that's not our life anymore. Something has to change. And sometimes those changes feel like something died in you. And I was like,
see, now look.
Marriage does seem terrifying. Like when you think about it from the love aspect and companionship, it sounds beautiful. But it also seems like, to me, from what I've heard, it's not a movie. And also, marriage is work. It's not, I think it's more so work than the happy ending. It's the work on, let's make this work so we don't leave each other. Two people with two different upbringings trying to live under one household. Whether you love each other or not, that shit is difficult.
And even like, you could be on the same page in the beginning and all of these changes that you guys are making, you can both be on board. But naturally, as people grow and you go through life, things change and you change your mind about things. So then when you talk to your spouse about these changes and it's an issue, that can be scary because sometimes those changes are so strong, you do end up having to get divorced because you've just grown apart. And that's just the fact of it. If I have to change so much about me that now I'm unhappy, why would I stay in a relationship where you're not supporting me being happy? That's an issue. So sometimes things do end. Everybody doesn't always grow together. And that can be a sad thing, a scary thing, but it's a very real thing. So, and I think like when people do date and they're talking about marriage, it's a lot of things that I think that people should consider. I know I personally have, and I just be sitting around talking to my girls about it, sometimes some guys, but I'm just talking about it because I'm not with anybody right now, but it's all sorts of things to consider. I talk to my friends who are single as fuck. I talk to my friends who are in long-term relationships, talk to married friends, and I talk to bitches who sleeping with other people's husbands. And I listen to all of these different experiences that they share with their views on marriage. And it's like, especially with the girls who are with somebody's husband, it's like, okay, do you want to get married one day? Are you afraid of the karma? And what does he tell you? Or vice versa. You could be a man or a woman dealing with a married woman who has stepped out of her relationship. Is the person's spouse okay? Do they know? Is it like an open situation or is it just a big secret? Like there's a lot of things that I think you should ask if you ever think that you want that. Because it's just like something, it's just food for thought. Like, okay, he's saying that he steps out because of X, Y, and Z. Does that make sense to you? Or do you see that happening in your life? It's just a lot to think about. Marriage is very, very serious.
It is. Another thing to think about is like, will you ride for that person if shit really does change, like someone loses their job? I think a lot of times people don't think about the things that could happen. Let's say somebody loses their job, the husband or the wife, and they're struggling and they don't bounce right back. They're not making the money they were making. Can you hold somebody down through that as a husband or wife? Or they get in an accident, they can't walk no more. I watched this movie on Netflix. It's called Penguin Blue or something like that. Penguin something. The lady ends up, she has a family, a husband. They are surfing or something. No. They went to Thailand. They were on this bridge. She falls off the bridge. She's paralyzed from the waist down, I believe. And her husband has to take care of her. A lot of people can't make it through hard stuff like that. People be dipping. And it's like, I also want to make sure I have a solid human being in my life that can withstand the toughest times that life might throw at you. Like you get paralyzed. You gonna leave me? Or do you think we can? And that's hard. I can't imagine having to take care of a whole human being and children.
It's very hard to be a caretaker, and it stresses a lot of people out. I have some relatives who are caretakers, even like my grandmother with my grandfather. They've been married for 50, 60 years, however long. I guess almost 60 now. But my grandfather had an eye surgery and lost his sight. He's blind. So he went in to correct like a cataract or something. He could see. It was just, they're going to remove the cataract or whatever they were doing. And now he's blind. So that has totally changed everything. And it was just like, all of a sudden, we're thinking you're going to come out, your vision will be kind of messed up for a little bit, and then it'll be back to normal. But everything has changed. You can't drive anymore. So everywhere you go, somebody has to take you. Even little things like, okay, we're having dinner. What's on my plate? Where are the items on my plate? Talk me through it.
Wow.
And that it's stressful because she has her own things and then she's taking care of him. And luckily I have aunts who are there who can help her, but it gets stressful. And then the person who has had these physical changes or health issues or whatever, they're stressed out on their own too. It's not like they're just happy or they have no feelings. Like they don't like losing their independence. Nobody wants that. You don't like having to ask people for stuff, but you have to do it. You're probably in pain. You're uncomfortable. You get irritated, all of this stuff. So then you can be a little testy at times. Then the medication, mood swings, anything can happen. And it's just like, you want to think that you have somebody solid, but it's when you think about those things, you have to consider it a lot because a lot of people they need some special therapy for being a caregiver. And if you know someone who is a caregiver, I challenge you to reach out to them and do something nice for them because they're dedicating their life to taking care of somebody else. And that's just what they do. And it's like, sometimes you want to make sure that that person is still being taken care of too, because whoever they're taking care of probably can't really do that.
That's heavy. That's heavy. There are a lot of heavy things.
So people be ready to get married about money and stuff. And it's like, well, girl, you going to last till the end?
Yeah. What if that nigga gets paralyzed? And then it's like, ooh.
Who knows? It could be easier.
Take sex out of it. Well, Kiki and I looked up some things on the internet, and a list was created. We have the top 8 reasons for divorce. Now we just gonna call them out because we don't really know if they put them in the right order. But
I don't know how they got these percentages because they don't add up, you guys. It must have been like check as many as you want.
The first one on the list, though, is lack of commitment.
Yep.
That could be looked at as cheating or just like you're not committed to the relationship. You had mentioned like maybe someone's working too much. You're not pouring into the relationship. I could see where
not
that
holding
could
up your compromises.
Yeah. When I get married, I hope that I can like print out my vows and like frame them and we have them right next to the bed. And I'll be like, baby,
I'm sure
that is not. That's not aligning.
You're going to be going to the board, flip your card to a sad face today because you dishonored vows on lines 3 and 36.
Like, we not going to be doing that.
Of course, infidelity is on there. We all know about that.
Do you think that most marriages have dealt with infidelity in some way?
Probably.
It's hard to think that not, because if you're with somebody for what? My parents have been together for 37 or 36 years. Somebody done did some infidelity in that. That's a long ass time. You know what I mean? That's long.
That is a long time.
But
I will say this. I think if you have a very traditional marriage, that's probably very common. But cheating, an affair, extramarital affairs, infidelity, it's different for everybody. Some people are going to be mad if you're flirting, if you buy a drink for somebody else, if you leaving hard eyes on Instagram. That's going to be cheating to some people. Other people, it's like full Monty, you fucking. But some people, they have open marriages from the beginning. And so I think that goes again back to when you're talking about what you want your marriage to be open and honest. If you know you're not really trying to be with just this one person sexually, maybe talk about that before you get caught and lose all your money in a divorce.
Because a lot of people are normalizing cheating. That's like we're normalizing luxury and we're normalizing cheating. It is like we got side chicks speaking out like that's your nigga. Bitch, sit down. Like, no, you should not be so comfortable. No. I was talking to go ahead. I was talking to a group of girls who were on a podcast called, they opened up for us in Dallas, Petty Party Podcast. And one of the girls, Crystal, mentioned, it's crazy. She was like, people cheat. And yeah, like back in the day, grannies and granddads was cheating, but there was like still a certain level of respect there. Like the man would still go home to his family. Now it's like you get cheated on and left, and he's leaving you for the side chick who he already has a family with.
Which would you rather?
I mean, that's a loaded question because I don't think I would want to lose my marriage. For me, cheating isn't an end all be all for me. That's not one of the ones. Like,
what if he has another family? It's not just sex, but I have another kid.
And
with
he's
this other
actively
woman.
just like, I'm going to go ahead and be with her. I would be devastated. You don't even want to have you have some people who they don't even have the conversation. They're like, yeah, I cheated and I'm leaving. So pack your stuff. You got to go. And it's like, whoa, I'm heartbroken. And like, you're leaving me. Like, this is so horrible. I would be devastated. If I had to pick between those two, though, I think I would want where you cheat on me and you come back home.
I have a married friend, and she was talking to me about their relationship. So they have sex with other people. It's okay. It's not cheating for them. They do it together, separate. It's fine. But she was like, in the future, we've been married for a few years now, but in the future, I could see myself with a sister wife. It's fine because sometimes, I just want a break. We could split up sometime. Like, I'll be okay with it. We could just, instead of meeting all these different women that we fuck, we could just have one and we can all live together. So I just think not cheating, but being with other people and opening up your marriage or being open to having multiple spouses. People are changing and they're not hiding it as much. So, and a lot of people, they've changed their views on it. A lot of people don't feel like cheating is an end all be all. A lot of people do want to have sex with somebody else and they're afraid to say it. Speak up. I hope you don't lose your person, but also if you cheat, you might lose them too. So like, I think it's best to be forthcoming and honest when it comes to what you're looking for in that sort of situation.
And if it really is your person and we was made for each other, we should be able to have this conversation. Babe, I need some new dick. Is you with it or not?
Right. Don't you want something new? Maybe you should set it up for him first and then you do it too. Okay. Too much conflict and arguing. Yeah. When you can't get along, you're going to be so miserable.
And everything is an argument. It's to the point where you just want to sit in the car and not go inside. You just sitting outside in the garage like, fuck, I hate my life. It's horrible when you have continuous arguing with someone in any relationship. It's just like, what are we doing? Why can't we figure out the problem? What is the problem? When you get to that point where you just hate each other and everything's a problem, you left the cup out. Well, I don't do this just like that. You got pods and not liquid. It's like, what's the underlying thing here?
Sometimes people be sick of each other and won't pull the plug. That's what that is. Holding on to something. Because sometimes I think we hold on to like the memories of the good times and that's supposed to be what gets you through. But it's like, bitch, if the good times was 10 years ago and we've been married for 25, I don't know if they're coming back, sis. I don't know. You might. And also sometimes I think the fact that you do have to be committed, I don't think everybody is a commitment person. Sometimes I think people feel better when they feel like they have more of a choice in the matter, that they could leave. That's probably why some people don't ever get married, or they get married, then they get divorced, but then they still be together. I see that a lot. And it seems to be working better than before. I don't know. But yeah, that conflict. Getting married too young.
Getting married too young. I have a friend going through this right now. And one thing
How old was she when she got married?
early 20s. And that is grown, but it is young. A lot of people do it, but she just said, I didn't live my life. And I've heard a lot of women say that. I feel like that is the recipe for sadness, especially when you have friends like yourself or myself where we live in life. Like,
okay, I do what I want. I'm a grown woman. I do what I want.
We've had one night stands. She's like, I've never had a one night stand. I just have this urge. I never thought I would want to, but like, I want to.
She wants
I want to sleep with somebody. Yeah. Like, she wants a hoe phase. And it's like, I remember growing up when like some of my friends, I went through a couple different hoe phases, but I remember being judged about like going through my hoe phases and sleeping with niggas and stuff. And people now are like, dang, I wish I would have did it. Yeah. Because life is long. Life is short, but life is also long if you are blessed to live it. Like, make some of your fantasies come true. You have sex, you might be called a hoe. Oh, wow.
I think you need to also figure out yourself and figure out what you really want. Because a lot of times I think that in the people I've known who did get married young, it seems like they were basing marriage off of maybe their parents' marriage or some fantasy of marriage that they have. They wanted very traditional things. Okay, this is what you do. You graduate high school, maybe you go to college, maybe you don't. You start a career, we're going to get married, have some babies, buy a house, all of this stuff, and that's just what you do. But when did you ever get a time to be yourself and figure out who you were? Who I was at 23 is not who I am at 32. It's just very different. And I think you need to have those experiences, even outside of like being a hoe. That's not the only thing. Just little things that you like, where you want to live, how you want to live your life. What kind of life do you want? What kind of career do you want? Do you want to live in a house? Do you want to live in a condo? Do you want to live here? Do you want to travel the world?
Yeah.
All of these things, I think that people should try and get those experiences and not just with another person. Figure it out for yourself, not your friend group, not your boyfriend, none of that. Just like really think about things that you've always wanted to try and challenge yourself to go and do those as you try and figure out who you are and what you want. And if you are married, I mean, there's going to be probably some limits on what you can do if you're trying to find yourself, but anybody who doesn't know who they are, they're always going to move through life lost. They're going to be doing crazy stuff at different points in their life. Some days shit's going to be cool. And then other days you just look at a person. It's like, why are you making these decisions? Why are you saying these things? You need to figure out who you are. If you're constantly trying to be like somebody else, emulate somebody else and do all of this, but you didn't live your own life to figure it out for yourself, you're not going to be happy.
It's and if you're not depression.
Yeah. And if you're not happy, you can't possibly be happy with another person. You need to have whole people coming together, not you looking for all of the missing things that you don't have in this other person so that they can complete you. Because what happens if they're not there, if they do leave, if something tragic happens, if things just don't work out, you're going to be empty again. Yeah, find yourself. Don't get married to
some empty kids.
Some what kids?
So, some empty kids.
Oh.
And it's going to all just trickle down. Empty on empty. The next one on here is financial problems. That's a given. I thought that was the number one reason for divorce in America, but they got it low on the list. But yeah, I can see that. They don't even need to expand on it. When folks start losing their money, you lose your vows.
Losing money, spending money, and one person might be very frugal. You haven't even lost it, but one person could be like splurge goddess. Other person is a tightwad. That doesn't work out. And how many times have we all seen somebody that did a business deal, took out some loan or did some shit that they wasn't supposed to do. They didn't talk to the spouse about it. Now they're knee deep in debt. So then they kill the spouse.
Has a gambling problem.
Oh, that.
I in my family, I didn't realize certain people had, you get grown, you learn about the family secrets. People had gambling issues. You done sold the house and the wife didn't know, or the car, or I'm just like,
all kinds of stuff. You got people after you and shit's getting real not so hot.
I gotta go now. If your gambling issues are too hard on our
and you gonna want to financial problems, I'm gonna want to dip because he's gonna kill me. He gonna get that's what always happens. They be like, okay, I'm out of options, gotta cash in this life insurance, and I can't cash it in if you're still breathing, bitch. So in the lake you go. No,
that is rude. Niggas always got to kill somebody. Women will take your money, but they won't take your life.
Yes, they will, girl. We both watch Snap. The women will do it too. They're gonna run off to Miami with their new younger boyfriend. Because she was just tired of your old dusty ass. You refused to take your Viagra. You wasn't fucking her. You was probably on the internet jacking off with girls on the internet instead of fucking her. And she's upset and she about to kill your ass. Like that threesome story I told you where the woman had somebody come and kill her husband. And they was all fucking at one point. It was all good a week ago.
That's rude.
Another sucky one is substance abuse. That one's hard.
That's hard. To watch someone you love just go down the drain. I dated someone whose ex-wife, they had a beautiful marriage, lived in Atlanta, beautiful home, had everything, owned restaurants. And then she got surgery on her back and got addicted to the pain pills. And still to this day, like she's like a crackhead. They lost their house. He had to leave her. He didn't want to. He said that was the hardest thing I ever did. That was a woman that I loved. I think they were married for 21 years. And he was like, it just got to the point where her substance abuse, she wasn't getting better. And they had gone through the, getting in the, what are they called? Those homes? Rehab. And she would get in, come out, do the same thing. He said, we tried that for 7 years. He was like, it got to the point where I had to take my own life in my own hands and I had to dip. And he said, that was the hardest thing I ever did.
Because that's gonna, like, I know somebody, he's currently married. He needs to not be. His wife is an alcoholic and she has gotten all these DUIs and she be losing the car. She's not supposed to be driving. She does crazy stuff. She's been in rehab. She's like bad. Like they don't keep alcohol in the house, but she gonna find a way to get drunk and she gets lost. All kind of crazy stuff happens. And it's just like, that's gotta be stressful. It's like, you don't want to leave the person because you do love them. But when they're not accepting help and taking it serious, I mean,
you gotta live.
You gotta make choices, and sometimes that choice is to dip.
Sometimes you gotta just make the best decision for yourself, and sometimes that's hard. Domestic abuse, domestic violence.
That's a deal breaker for me.
That's a deal. If you thump me in my head in an argument,
I'm not dealing with that.
I'm falling on the ground.
That shit is not okay. It's not normal. I know many people have seen it. In their own families, and a lot of people, it's a cycle of abuse that they talk about all the time. We've heard it, and I think that sometimes people make excuses when somebody does it, and they're typically going to apologize and they'll be nice for a while, and then it starts over. And I'm not even just talking about physical violence, but you're not gonna be talking to me crazy,
emotional,
disrespecting me, belittling me, making me feel like less than a person or like I don't want to be here. I'm not dealing with that. You have got to go before I do something
I think that
drastic.
It's important when you're dating, men and women, that the dating period, if you're dating someone for a long time and you're getting serious, it is very important that you pay attention to what my mom always told me is, how does he handle conflict? When y'all have an argument, how's he handling that? Also, I think meeting people's family, you got to really date in detail when it's serious. You got to make sure that if that nigga's raising his voice at you, or if he hits you while you're dating, why even marry someone who would do that?
Get away from him.
Get away. There's no happy ending in that.
He's going to do it again.
He's going to do it multiple times, and each time it'll be worse. So lovers' quarrels that sometimes get out of hand, and people, but it's not like abuse. Like y'all ain't punching on each other and he punched on you. Y'all just got loud and y'all fought really hard. I think that's a little different. But if somebody is going upside your head, man or woman, because women be abusing men too, please get out. It's ghetto, and your life can be taken.
That's really sad. The last one on this list is health problems.
That scares me to my core. I have had nightmares that I marry like my mystery husband, Drake. And then like something happens. Like I've been telling him, baby, you need to eat healthier. Stop eating so much salt. You're eating too much sugar. And then he just doesn't wake up in the morning, all because of health problems that maybe could have been avoided if it's that type of health problem. But
and then you have the other ones where you find out down the line somebody has something that they could not have prevented, or they just didn't know that they had. It could be chronic. It could be fatal. Or there could be treatments, possible cures, and it could just take a lot. And insurance or not, that's going to cost money. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of adjustments, and sometimes it's hard. And then sometimes you end up losing a bit of that person. Like I was watching, I don't know what it was, something with some older people. They've been married forever, and the wife had dementia. And it got hard in the end because when people have that, there's good days and then there's bad days. And so they get real testy sometimes. And when they think that they know something, or they think that they remember something, or that they did something and the memory's not there, or they're getting confused, that stuff gets hard because people get really mean. And some people, like, they don't see their family members who have it because they just keep that person away because it turns into too many other issues. So, you know, sometimes stuff can happen when you're young, but it can happen when you're older too. And that was
one thing that is terrifying for me about really everything on this list, minus abuse, is we can say what we think we'll do, but we've never been married. And with some of the things on this list, I actually, even when I say like cheating isn't a deal breaker, I've never been a married person, and I don't know what it would feel like if you found out your husband really has like a whole side.
I would be
girlfriend.
Devastated.
Yeah, like I don't know how I would actually like handle these things if they happened in a marriage. Sometimes you think you would do something, then it happens, and you do the exact opposite. So I would love to hear from some of y'all married people out there. What type of issues have y'all had back? Send us a cocktail. I want to know how y'all made it through. Did anybody deal with a cheating husband and you really did get through it? Not you staying with him and you still really upset. You forgave him and y'all's relationship is flourishing.
It would stress me out. I don't know. I think it kind of depends on the type of cheating. Cheating is scary, but it's a whole bunch of other things that scare me too. I don't know. It's all very scary. And then again, like if I want to go have an expensive ass dinner, I don't want nobody fussing at me about that. And I think that's probably going to be an issue. I've thought about that a lot lately. I was like, I really just be doing what I want to do. If I was with somebody else, first of all, they might want to come. Their feelings are going to be hurt if I'm like, I just need some me time. I want to just go sit by myself. They're going to be feeling some type of way. Maybe they're going to think I'm going on a date. But sometimes I like to do shit alone. Ooh, they just kind of, I don't know. I need somebody that I just want to be up under. This is going to be a magical man. Maybe I met him this weekend. I met about 50 of them on Sunday.
Well, you need to pass one over if you don't want to.
No.
You got Kiki one. To share some.
You got a boo. You got a boo, and you had him for a minute. I'm trying to catch up, make up for lost time.
Y'all, we're going to move on to Indecisive Diane, and when we come back, we will jump into some advice letters and then our cocktails.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Indecisive Diane. This week, you guys have to try breakfast at Bonnie's. Oh my gosh, it's black owned. They play black films at the bar. The ambiance is so cute. The men are there. Go there for breakfast. A breakfast date. Try something new. Here's the address. 349 Decatur Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30312. Try the 14-karat pancakes. They have an edible flour on top. You can eat the flour.
Okay, you guys, and we are back from Indecisive Diane. If you have like a really cool business or, well, it's still a business, but restaurant or something that you think would be great for a date
activity, yeah,
and you want to hear it in the Indecisive Diane segment, email us at cocktails@atl@gmail.com. We do have some sponsored spots available for that. So, or if you are maybe a dating concierge and you want to do that because, you know, niggas are lazy. Maybe Indecisive Diane should become a dating concierge. That might be a little business for her because people don't ever know. But yeah, hit us up if you're interested in that. Okay, so for the advice email is askcocktails@gmail.com. Please don't DM them to us because we can't search the DMs. Yeah, and we want to see it. Okay, so I have one and it says, it's short. Hi, because the cocktail is long. Okay. Hi, ladies. I love the show. Y'all are certainly my besties in my head. Here's my question. I've been single for about a decade, despite my best efforts. I've tried online dating, going out by myself, or with girlfriends, and pretty much any advice I've received hasn't worked. I'm in my late 20s, live in downtown Dallas, and I'm wondering, how do you suggest attracting quality men in public settings? Where can I go to meet quality men? And finally, what's one thing any woman can do to make herself more attractive to the opposite sex? Wishing you health and wealth. Sincerely, the serial single.
Oh, the serial single. That's cute. You know, you want what you want. You want attention from men. I get it. I think, okay, you're looking for the quality man. I think sometimes you have to look at yourself and say, when you step out, are you representing a quality woman? Are you dressed nice? Are you taking time with your makeup, your hair? What places are you going to find that quality man? That's something that I learned the hard way when I was old.
She asked, where could she go? She don't know where to go.
She's in Dallas?
She's in Dallas.
I don't know what type of men you like. I like to go places where there's everybody there. I think I've said this on the show before. There is a place in Dallas called the Statler. Now, I will say it's something where like you need to go by yourself and be at the bar, and you will meet men there. The Statler is gorgeous. It's one of the oldest hotels and nicest hotels in Dallas. It has a speakeasy at the bar. It has all different types of activities you can go to, but they have a bar in the main bar. When you walk in, sit at that bar, you'll meet some quality men. Now, I don't know what they, emotions are like and what type of people they are, but there are businessmen that stop by and they have a drink. They're the type of men that drink an old fashioned or Manhattan. They don't have juice in their drinks. They're not drinking on Hennessy. They're drinking grown man rich people drinks, and they have Rolexes. So if that's really all you're looking for, you might need to just switch up where you're going and just start trying new spots. Like the Statler's another place. There's a place called Stir. You might find younger men. The Statler, you're going to find older men. But, and be cute when you step out. You never know who you're going to meet wherever you go.
I would like to add that, yes, go by yourself. I have my best experiences when I roll solo. Sometimes my friends probably get annoyed because they want to come. No, bitch, I'm going by myself. That's why I ain't tell you, because I'm on a mission, baby. Period. Go. I think that something that any woman could do to make herself more attractive to the opposite sex is to exude confidence. Not just like, I look good, but you need to be confident in everything you do. The way you walk in the room, you need to have an air about you. You know, when you see that man who walk in the room, it's just like, damn, who is that? And you just feel like, I want him. You need to have that energy. So say some affirmations in the mirror before you go out, because it's not just about how you look. Put yourself together.
Please.
But it's something that comes from within. It's easy to spot somebody who is feeling insecure and is just a little too timid and shy. That shit reeks through your pores. Okay. So try to be really confident. And maybe this is what I did this weekend. Make the first move. You don't have to take charge of everything. Even if you just like say hello to someone you find attractive. And don't just talk to the man that you think is cute. Talk to somebody else. People are going to notice that. Well, who is that? Why is he talking to her? I want to talk to her. People seem to like people that's attached to somebody or something. They're going to be waiting their turn. They're going to be clocking you. Then they're going to be more interested. Like, are they together? Is she just talking to him? Strike up a conversation with him. Ask him what he's drinking. You don't have to buy him a drink unless you want to, but you can just ask him. You can ask for a suggestion. You can ask him about items on the menu. Just give him a compliment. A lot of times, men don't really get a lot of compliments is what they tell me. Their asses be lying to me too, so I don't know. But they kind of blush sometimes when I tell them, you look really good today. And they just be like, nice what? You gave me a compliment?
Yeah.
No, you can't be giving out compliments all the time because it's going to not seem sincere. But, you know,
you can do
sprinkle
it for
a
practice,
little.
Though.
You can do
start practicing. She can do it for practice.
Yeah, just sprinkle them out here and there. Try some different things. See what comes natural to you once you start practicing these different things. I think that'll help. And go out of town.
And really do it. It's uncomfortable when you first start trying to holler. And I even still get uncomfortable with it. I was in the elevator with a nigga last week and he was so fine, Kiki. And as many men that holler at me
made your voice crack.
Oh my God, he was so fine. And I wanted to talk to him so bad and I didn't and I regret it.
Why?
And
why didn't you
don't
talk
be
to him?
me. I don't know. I was just so nervous. I was so nervous. And it was so funny because my dog loved him. She kept going up to him. He was like, oh, look. I had all the segues to like ease my way in. I was just, it's overwhelming and sometimes you feel a little scary, but girl, do it. Because the times that I have done it, it works in your favor. Niggas be shocked. when you
Go
bag
for
them.
it.
Be like,
Go for it. Good luck
for it.
to
You got
you,
it.
serial single.
okay, the next one. Hey, ladies, I love the show. Y'all are great. Besties in my head, all of that. I need help securing a trip. I met a very wealthy older man in my city who is in town for a few weeks on business. We have been hanging out, but he is leaving to go back home next week. This situation is fresh, like 2 to 3 weeks fresh. But he will text me throughout the day to tell me how much he thinks about me. My question is, how do I secure a trip to see him? Oh, this is easy, sis. I do not want to be too forward, but I do want to see him. Also, I guess I need general dating advice. I never dated someone so far out of my tax bracket, and it's intimidating. Thanks. Whatever name you want to give me.
I love dating far outside of my tax bracket because this tax bracket ain't where it's at, baby. So, yeah. Don't let it, he probably knows that. Okay.
He knows it.
So,
And this one probably ain't gonna work. I'm not gonna lie. When niggas be knowing it, it's like you might mess up a few of the first 3 niggas that you start dating that are out of your tax bracket because it's almost like the confidence thing. It gets annoying. Like, he probably wants you to ask him.
And don't be bringing up that you don't have no money and shit like that.
And don't be acting like you're all timid around him because the nigga's rich. He's still a nigga.
I would also say, like, as far as securing this trip to see him, honestly, girl, if he wants to see you, he's gonna invite you. So he might be thinking like you'll feel uncomfortable because it's so soon. And ask yourself why you want to go see him, first of all, before you get out there and get your feelings hurt. But tell him, like, I would love to come see you. And if he don't take the bait, the only way you're going to secure that trip is if you go to delta.com and book your own damn flight, honestly. Like, if he wants to buy you a flight and he wants to fly you out, he will. If he's wealthy, he has the money. Money is not an issue. He will. He might also have some other shit going on where he lives, so you got to be conscious of that. That might be why.
Married. These rich niggas be married.
Maybe that's why he hasn't invited you, or still, he might be cheap. Niggas can be wealthy and cheap. So, you've got a lot of moving wheels here, but let him know, I miss you. I want to see you. Ask him. When are you going to fly down to see you?
So,
what's the worst I can say? No? You still at home?
I don't think he's going to say no. Just be like, hey, even if you were like, I was looking up flights, saw this one. What do you think? See what he says. He gonna say yes, girl. If it was as great as you, yeah, I mean, I hope so too, but why would he not? He old and rich.
Because he might have another situation there, and she can't come see him there. It might be too much, He might have to go see her. Yeah.
I want to know how this
good
goes.
luck, girl. Okay, well, that's it for the advice this week. Again, send your advice to askcocktails@gmail.com, and maybe we will read it on the show. Now, for this week's cocktails.
If I want fuck, I'm gon' fuck 'em. But if he ain't got a buck, I won't cuff 'em. Spend 100 on me, it ain't nothing. Run a double D, so stuck 'em. Back to the point. Is it some cash in this place? If it is, I'll probably stick the stats in your face, turn around. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe.
I'm gonna read one. This one is funny. This is something that I could see happening to me, which is why I picked it. And I want y'all to send us a message and let us know what you would have done if you were the date in this situation, and if this has ever happened to you.
I want to read it. Okay, I'm excited.
Okay, so she says, I just need to tell somebody what the fuck happened to me last weekend. I couldn't possibly tell anyone I know because I am just too mortified. I love a good embarrassing cocktail because
they're the best.
This is me. Okay, so I met this guy walking to my car from work. He pulled up next to me and asked me to listen to something. Turns out he's an aspiring singer and wanted me to listen to a song he was recording. I rolled my eyes internally like, oh Lord, another SoundCloud rapper. But I thought he was cute and bold for even asking, so I said, why not? Y'all, he has the voice of an angel, but I couldn't be all fangirly in front of him. I told him it was cool, gave him a few pointers on what to do to make it better. Shocked, he said, thanks so much for my honesty, because he didn't want just another yes man, blah, blah, blah. Walked her to the car and he didn't ask for the number. So she's like, what the fuck? So she said, fuck this. I'm taking matters into my own hands. She goes to her car, grabbed a sticky note, wrote her number with the note on it and said, I want to hear the finished product with a winky face, and left it on his car. So he texts her a few hours later and they went from there. Fast forward to a few months later, he hits her up and asks her out for drinks. Set a date for the next day right after work. Okay, this is when shit gets embarrassing. I get to the restaurant fashionably late, and y'all, this man was so damn chocolatey. He was in shape, bald, a gorgeous smile with the cutest fedora on his head. He stood up, greeted me, said I looked gorgeous in my dress, and we sat down. We clicked instantly. We had so much in common. The conversation just flowed so easily. You would have thought I knew this man all my life. Ugh. He was everything, and I could smell his damn cologne across the table. He smelled so damn good. I had to play it cool. I was definitely looking at him, thinking about having his dick in my mouth and him blowing my fucking back out. I ordered a tequila sunrise or 3, LOL, as I'm waiting for the food. At the end of the date, he asked to go walk around the boardwalk. I agree, of course, and we head out. But shortly after we reach the end of the pier, I realized I have to use the goddamn bathroom. But we were so far, I figured I can hold it at least until I get back to my car. We're stopping and watching the scenery and talking more. Then all of a sudden, my bladder said, bitch, no, we have to go now. But I'm still trying to play it cute. Excuse me. So I start walking us back toward the restaurant, saying, I wonder if they will let me use the restroom, just so he's aware of why I'm now walking at a faster pace. I'm looking around, counting backwards from 10, doing Kegels, anything I can do to distract myself until we reach the destination. That has been me. At this point, I don't even know what the fuck he's saying to me. I have to pee so damn bad that my hands were shaking and my focus was off. I'm looking around trying to figure out a plan because it was clear I was not making it back to the restaurant. But everything was so far and I was a sitting damn duck. Y'all, he stops to show me something on his damn phone and that was it. I can literally feel the piss rolling down my leg. I don't wear panties with dresses. I had the look of terror on my face, like, bitch, I know you're not pissing in front of this fine-ass man. I tried to hold my legs together and pretend I was making a phone call to not look suspicious. I could have started crying. I want to cry for you. I was able to contain some of the piss, so I didn't completely empty my bladder. Now I have to fucking abort. I told him there was an emergency with the babysitter and I have to go now. He says, okay, and we start walking to the car. Kiki, Medinah, not only do I now have a trail of piss going down my leg and a possible wet spot on the back of my dress, but this fucking harbor is packed. There are people everywhere. I figured if I just make it to my damn car without him looking at my backside, I might be in the clear. Hopefully he doesn't look down at my legs. Luckily, I was carrying a huge Aldo tote and I used that to cover my butt. I looked no one in the eyes as I'm sure people were noticing what the fuck was going on. I'm just walking fast and hoping for the best. He walked me to the car. I gave him a hug. He opened my door and I slid in the driver's seat ass first. I know that's right. He walks off and I literally burst out in tears. I don't know if he noticed. I don't know if I smell like piss. I don't know anything. He texted me after to make sure I made it to the sitter in time, but I didn't even respond. I don't know how to face him or even talk to him after this. The most embarrassing shit ever. Total cock fail. I just knew you ladies were the only ones I could tell this shit to. What would you ladies do? What would you ladies have done if this happened to you? P.S. No more tequila sunrises on the first date. That is so embarrassing. I feel for you. But I will say, I don't think he noticed.
I don't think so. Because if anyone noticed, they're going to say it.
Or if he noticed it and he gets it, that's why he didn't bring it up. I hate that you didn't text him back, but I get it. You were just so embarrassed.
You gotta
hit him up.
And to even tell him
your
the story.
Husband.
That might be your husband. That's a cute little story to tell. It's funny.
I didn't call. He's going to be like, why didn't you call me? He goes to me, what's up? Okay, so here's the truth. I'm gonna send you a link to this show.
I want to start there.
Listen to the story. That was our first date, and I was just too embarrassed. Or just tell him, I was very embarrassed.
That is so fucking embarrassing. At least you didn't pee in his bed. That's more embarrassing. Oh no,
yeah, no, because this looks like you're grown. Why are you peeing on yourself? But I get it.
Sis, I wouldn't. I think I probably would have spoiled it myself because I'd have been like, oh my God, I'm peeing on myself. I would have had to say it right then and there because
you couldn't sit in the sand or nothing. Like,
I
hate this for you. I really
Please call him.
I'll tell you though. I'll tell you what happened to me. I don't know how long of a listener you've been. I was on a date and I didn't realize it. But I was on a dinner date and I bled through my tampon. And I had on a red dress, but it bled through my dress and it was like on the back of my dress. I know that he saw it because he was like such a gentleman. He's going to open the door and he's pushing it out for me. And he was walking behind me. When I got home, I saw it and I was like, that's why he did that. So he walks me to my car. I felt a little moist and I was like, oh, I should have went to the bathroom in there. I didn't have any more tampons in my purse. I forgot to put some more in there. I lived really close to there. So he made up some excuse that he needed to go home and he was going to change. But did I want to go out later? He would come back and pick me up. And he was like, you can go get changed too. So I was like, okay, because the dress I had, it was cute for a dinner, but it wasn't like a let's go to the club type of thing. But I was like, he saw that blood on my dress and he knew I was going to need to change. So I felt like he was such a nice guy. I was so embarrassed and I went to the club with him. We never talked about it. He never brought it up. Such a nice man. But that embarrassment did live on for a long time. He probably married down. Damn. Don't let the embarrassment have you missing out.
Don't have it. It's
just try and let us know what happens. Sorry, girl.
If he's a grown man, he'll understand. I bled on a man's bed before and his floor when I got up to when you have a heavy flow and it was like a blood clot just like fell out onto it was so fucking embarrassing. But he handled it like a grown man. He's like, it's okay. He was like, you could get in the bath. And he didn't have no tampons. I didn't have no tampons. And it was so fucking embarrassing.
What would you do if a man peed on himself? I'd be like, now why you didn't take that little pecker out and squirt it somewhere?
Yeah, I would.
I could have blocked you.
Even since I would have had to squat at a tree or something. Like, look,
I have to pee. I would have said it.
I don't normally do this, but I'm about to piss on myself. Okay, next one. Hi, Kiki and Medinah. Okay, I know y'all hate long cocktails, so let's get to it. Me and my baby daddy / love of my life have sex once a month just to check in because even though we will never be together, it's too good to let it go. A few days prior to our monthly sexcapade, we were sending nut videos and porn nonstop. At one point, he was demanding butt videos when he knew I was busy, telling me not to get punished for disobeying. I knew we were going to be on some freaky shit. So he told me he wants to do some new shit this time. And I said, if we're trying anything, I want to get some kangaroo pills too and get some things off my bucket list. I came over later that week. We took the pills and immediately he blindfolds and cuffs me up, start telling me to get undressed and lay on the bed. And I'm like, my nigga, I can't. So I lay on the bed and he starts eating my pussy so good. I could have came and went to bed straight off the head. He gets up and tells me I have 10 seconds to find him. So I scoot off the bed, stressed, trying to find him. And he comes from behind me, makes the cuffs tighter, chokes me, and tells me there are consequences for being disobedient. He pushes me on the floor and starts to throat fuck me. I can barely breathe. He drags me to the bed and tells me to arch it up. Arch that thing up. Y'all, he put it in my booty hole. I had never had anal, so he was gentle, but low-key, it wasn't working out. Since we were on the kangaroo pills, we ended up fucking for about 2 hours. And when he came for the last time, I just kept riding that thing. And I'm pretty sure his soul left his body. All in all, I had bruises around my wrist for being handcuffed that long, lost some feeling in my thumb for a bit. And as Medinah would say, I definitely was buffalo splatting for a few days to follow the buffalo dookie. And I had to take a plan B because I can't have one of his kids for real. All in all, I think booty hole sex and dom and sub foreplay may be my new thing. I loved being punished. A few days after he let me know once a month just isn't enough. I definitely agree. Bye, ladies. Oh, that dom shit. I did a little in the sex club. It is sexy. Oh my God. And booty hole sex? Girl, welcome to the booty hole club. Get that thing splat.
Y'all have fun over there. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Good luck to your anal nerve endings and tissues. Y'all be careful back there. Thank you for sending in your cocktail. You guys, please sign up for our Patreon. Remember to listen, rate, review, and subscribe. Share the show. I love when y'all share clips on Instagram of what parts you liked or thought was crazy. You were like, here Kiki goes with their faces. Please share that. And I guess that's it. We will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Population. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the drive. Bye. 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 Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.